Hey Vikings, welcome back to Samohilights. I'm your host, Noah Rose.
And I'm Lola Rice. This episode of Samohilights will show just how incredible and involved the students at Santa Monica High School really are.
That's right. Today we're discussing some events that not only happened at our school, but at schools across the country.
If you haven't guessed what event we're talking about, here's a hint: the nationwide school walkouts.
But that's not the only topic we're going to cover.
We also have coverage on the Greg Coote concert, Samohilights High's Career Day, and we'll have interviews with next year's ASB leaders.
And of course, it wouldn't be Samohilights without an awesome student performance to wrap it all up.
And today's performer is Ali Ball.
We have a great show today, so stick around. Nothing is better than that hit theme song. I'll never get sick of hearing that beautifully constructed hidden symphony.
Speaking of songs, we had our very own concert put on by SMEF, the Greg Coote Concert for the Arts, which was previously called the After Concert.
After concert? What was the main concert?
Noah, the name of the concert is AFTA, Artists for the Arts.
Sounds interesting. Who were the main performers this year?
Rick Springfield, Terry Nunn of Berlin, Venice, and some spectacular student soloists.
Whoa, did Rick Springfield do Jesse's Girl?
Of course he did. Let's boogie on over and watch the performances.
That really took my breath away.
Hey, Noah, did you know that Terry Nunn used to go to Samohilights High?
Really? I wonder how she started her music career.
Maybe she went to Career Day and learned about careers in music. Career Day is an annual event organized by Samohilights High PTSA where juniors get to talk to experts in multiple fields.
There were panels on everything from engineering to makeup.
Even Bobby Hundreds came to talk about his career.
The creator of Hundreds Clothes Company? I wear their shirts all the time. Let's take a look at how it went.
Thank you again to all our special guests that came to shed some light on their jobs.
You guys killed it.
After the break, we're going to talk to Ryan Chen and Parker Lauer, the next president and secretary of Samo High's student body. Stay tuned.
I thought I had everything under control. Then, one day, something happened. I didn't know how to stop it. I didn't know there was help. Until someone told me.
Providing access to justice, the Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles can help with domestic violence issues, eviction defense, government benefits, immigration, and other civil legal issues.
Who knows what gratitude means? Nicholas?
To be thankful?
Writing letters to our military is a great way to say thank you for their service.
Frisco! Somebody loves you.
Dear soldier, thank you for keeping me safe. You're my hero.
To donate or send a care package to America's heroes, visit OperationGratitude.com.
Riding a bicycle can seem like child's play.
But only if you're playing indoors. Cars and bikes need to play together.
Play it safe. Ride by the rules.
Hey, share the road.
Discover 30 years of opera in Santa Monica. Discover the Verdi Chorus.
You know, Lola, I'm thinking I might one day run for office.
Well, it seems you missed the ASB elections. They already happened.
Bummer. Well, I guess I'll need to make sure school's in good hands.
Lucky for you, you can. On the show today, we have next Samo High's ASB president and secretary. Ryan, Parker, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, overall, how do you think the event went? And, how did you organize your campaigns leading up to it?
I think the event went very well. I've campaigned twice so far, and this is my third campaign. I just ran off basically posters and buttons, and that's how I've been doing it every year. And I think the event went well. It was kind of a test year because we were transitioning into a new activities director, but nonetheless, I think overall it's pretty organized.
Yeah, for me, this is my second year. Last year I ran for sophomore class vice president, which that's my position right now. And I think it went pretty well. Yeah, it was new, but this is my first year in ASB, so I kind of got the new feel. And for my campaign, I just went with a slogan and went with a theme. And this year I had, "You have the power, so vote Parker Lauer." And the whole idea of that is that the student body, it's their choice, it's their vote, it's their power kind of, in order to choose who they want to represent their school. And I think that that's super important because right now there's a lot of people that overbear and I don't know, some people don't feel like they have a voice, and the elections are their voice. So I think that that's important.
Yeah.
So you guys have a pretty big responsibility. I mean, you're representing a really big student population. What kind of changes do you want to implement over the next year?
So I think what we really want to do is unify the student body and kind of promote the diversity of our campus. We have a large 3,000 plus student body on campus, and there's just all sorts of different facets on campus, and we kind of just want to bring awareness to different campaigns. Or we also a thing I want to kind of implement is a polling app, so the students can kind of voice their opinions on different events. We're in the midst of a Spirit Week right now, but I feel like if the students are able to vote on what they want to see changed, it'll kind of promote Spirit in itself. because right now, as it stands, ASB, we're only 30 students out of this large population. So it's almost kind of skewed. If we can get that voice for everyone, then that's what we want to promote the most.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We're both like trying very hard to have that be implemented next year, like the unifying. Like there are so many different kinds of people on this campus. We don't even realize all the different, beautiful, amazing kinds of people that are at Samo High. And I think if we focus on like unifying ASB to unify everybody else, like we're just gonna have a better school life. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
I hope you both continue to thrive in your political careers.
Thank you.
Yay, good job, guys.
Care packages give hope while you're away fighting battles. But what happens when battles follow you home? JVS Veterans First helps returning soldiers transition to civilian life with services such as peer support, career counseling, and job training.
JVS Veterans First can help. Own your honor.
Visit jvsla.org for more information.
The Santa Monica Museum of Art.
Take a closer look.
Hey Mom, yes I'm home. Saved you some dinner.
Plan now for a major earthquake. Contact the Santa Monica Office of Emergency Management. Don't be caught in the dark.
At the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Monica, we build long-lasting relationships with our kids.
Love. Friendships.
Support. Trust.
Learning.
I know. Fun. All that and a lot more.
We're not just a club. We're family.
Great futures start here.
Recently, our country has been plagued by tragedy. School shootings are becoming more and more common, putting everyone in an educational environment at risk in a state of fear.
The most recent shooting in Parkland, Florida, has motivated students in schools across the nation to speak up and question the country's minimal gun control.
Last week, schools all over America, including Samo High, participated in a walkout to let their voices, which have been silent for so long, be heard loud and clear. Let's take a moment and see how Samo High has been proactive in this tense time.
We stand with Parkland against gun violence. We are all here, and there are so many more of us across the nation who are standing with us, with the victims, with the survivors. We will be heard. We will yell and scream. We will yell and scream. We will fight for our safety. We will fight for our safety. We stand with everyone who has lost their lives to this. We must fight for that freedom. We must fight for that freedom. We must yell and scream and protest. We must yell and scream and protest. As we are doing today. As we are doing today. We stand with Parkland. With Virginia Tech with Columbine. With Virginia Tech with Columbine. Standing with and all the others that we have that we cannot even name because the list is too long. We will make them listen. We will make them listen. We will make ourselves heard. We will make ourselves heard. This will not be our normal.
Here to talk about the walkout, we have Roger, Melanie, and Chelsea. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So, how are you guys involved in the walkout?
Okay, so it originally started with me and Chelsea, and from there we kind of just grew, like we expanded because the original walkout that we had planned didn't go as greatly as we had planned it. So actually we didn't even plan it. You're just like, let's do it. And then we called that other meeting and we actually put together March 14th. And well, it was pretty successful in our opinion.
Yeah, that's how I got involved. I had been planning my own personal walkout, not knowing that our school would be able to approve that. But as soon as I heard about the meeting, I went straight there and was able to even get on the executive board by helping run the chant group.
It's honestly amazing that you guys organized this huge event. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but there are pictures of Samo students in the New York Times. I mean, all across the country. It's great that we got to be a part of this.
Yeah, they quoted me.
I did hear some debate over whether the walkout was originally supposed to simply commemorate the students who passed away at Parkland, or whether it was an anti-gun rally. So what was the intention behind it for you guys?
I think that it was a mix of both. Like, obviously, it was an anti-gun rally and commemorating the victims. It's always going to be that whenever we walk out. We're always going to remember the victims and have it also be, like, a political stance. I feel like people are going to say, like, oh, but they died, don't politicize their deaths, but
yeah, the Parkland students have
Right.
straight up said that they must be politicized, that they can't let this go by.
If I died because I was shot by an assault rifle, I would want my death to be politicized.
I would want my death to be the
as
last.
much as you can out of it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of debate in gun control about should teachers have guns on campus. What are your guys' view on that?
I really think the answer is that they absolutely should not. In fact, on the day of the walkout at our school, there was another teacher who was receiving gun training and accidentally fired. I can't remember if any students were shot, but I think at least one was injured. And
I think it was 3. I know.
3, yeah. So, I mean, the idea of having trained teachers, a lot of the solutions that we're seeing proposed in government are that to keep gun violence at a low, we should add more guns, but to me that's trying to put out fire by lighting matches. And I just feel like it's a terrible idea. It could go wrong in so many places when a teacher makes a mistake, when a teacher goes bad, when a student can get a hold of it. Anything like that, I think it's just...
So we all saw during the rally when someone walked on stage, grabbed the mic, there's that whole thing. For audience, someone grabbed the mic and started shouting about the Second Amendment.
Yeah, he shoved me out of the way.
What was your guys' opinion on the opinions of other students? Do you feel like other students got a voice in this rally?
I think that the point of the rally was anti-gun violence, and everybody who went knew that. We didn't force anybody to be there. We didn't say you have to come. Like, it's completely optional. If you support gun control, then please come and show your support. But I feel like him showing up was totally out of proportion and very radical of him, but what can you expect?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it was, we actually had, if you couldn't stay, if your teacher was participating in the walkout and you didn't want to, you probably couldn't stay in your classroom, so you were able to go to the Greek theater. And if he had wanted to give a pro-gun speech in the theater and run his own counter-protest, that would have been completely rightful of him, like that is his right, but to violently force his way on the stage, shove us out of the way, and just straight up rudely try to, he didn't want to state his own beliefs, he just wanted to try and counter ours.
Yeah.
And who was it that got hurt that wanted to take
Camille.
it? Camille got hurt. And
a senior.
Yeah, and that's just unacceptable.
And I think that saying that it was the Second Amendment was very very false of him, because if you knew about the Second Amendment, like I've learned from my history teacher, the Second Amendment was originally made to say that states had the right for a militia, and that meant like they could have their own like little army and stuff like that. So for them to say it's their Second Amendment right is totally incorrect, because that's not what it means. And I felt if a lot of people would just read about these subjects and further educate themselves instead of just plainly just going with their gut instincts and thinking they're automatically right, we wouldn't have these huge problems or these huge polarizations of like different political beliefs. So I think that whole Second Amendment card was very like uncalled for, and like Roger and Melanie said, we never forced anyone to be there. Like, it's your choice. Like, everything should be our choice as human beings, and by forcefully going out of your way to just try to prove a petty point is just immature and uncalled for.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to continue this conversation, but that's all the time we have for today. Thanks, guys, for so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you. The next walkout is going to be on April 20th. This walkout will be citywide and involve other local high schools such as Pali, Venice, Beverly, and University High School.
For Samohilights High students wishing to participate, this next walkout will start on school campus and end at City Hall. For more info, follow @SamoHigh4Change on Instagram.
After the break, we'll have Ali Ball performing her original song, Can't Resist.
There's a quiet battle happening on our streets. Pedestrians are acting indestructible. And drivers act like they own the road. They're both wrong. Be aware, be alert. Pedestrians don't have armor. A message from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
Here is Ali Ball performing her original song, Can't Resist.
You'll go on with your life, I'll go on with mine. That's what we agreed on at the time. But you keep coming around, pushing the same old buttons. It don't matter how fast I'm running, somehow you keep pulling me in. Over and over again. So somebody tell me I'm not crazy, and that you just can't give it up. But you're making it so goddamn hard, 'cause you just don't know. I don't deserve this back and forth, I don't deserve this pain. I don't deserve to know that you feel the same. 'Cause you can't and you shouldn't, but you do. I always used to think that I was strong. I always used to think you'd never do me wrong. Along the way I saw each and every sign, ignored them all. Every single time everybody's saying I told you so. Right back where we started before. So somebody tell me I'm not crazy, and that you just can't give it up. 'Cause you're making it so goddamn hard, 'cause you just don't know. I don't deserve this back and forth, I don't deserve this pain. I don't deserve to know that you feel the same. 'Cause you can't and you shouldn't, but you do. When you're with her, are you thinking of me? You're not the man you want us to see, and I hate it, but there's something I can't resist. When you're with her, you're thinking of me. Tell me, boy, honestly, I'm something you can't resist. So somebody tell me I'm not crazy, and that you just can't give it up. making it so goddamn hard, 'cause you just don't know. I don't deserve this back and forth. I don't deserve this pain. I don't deserve to know that you feel the same. 'Cause you can't and you shouldn't, but you do. It's something I wish I never knew. 'Cause you can't and you shouldn't, but you do.
Ali, that was amazing. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
So how'd you get started writing music?
I just used to listen to a lot of Taylor Swift and John Mayer, and I thought that that's what I wanted to do for a while. And so I would just be like, I'm going to write songs, and I would just write down lyrics, and I'd be like, hey, I have songs, but they just weren't songs because there was no music to it. And then slowly I started learning guitar, and so I would kind of put together like songs-ish.
So you mentioned those two artists. Who else has inspired you, or what type of music has inspired you the most?
I listen to a lot of country music and like singer-songwriter. So also like Ed Sheeran. I love the Zac Brown Band.
Yeah.
Just any artist that has like a really original take on their own genre, because I feel like a lot of genres tend to, like, all the songs sound the same. And so I definitely like people that kind of put a twist on it and make their own kind of genre.
Cool. Where do you usually pull your inspiration from?
It's not usually necessarily from like any place. I don't sit down and go, I'm gonna write something. It's usually I'll be doing something random like homework, which isn't always the best.
Yeah.
But I'll be doing homework or like in the shower even, and it'll just kind of pop in my head, and I'll like hear a melody with the words. And so I'll just stop whatever I'm doing and like write it down, or just like take it down somewhere, and then later I end up just finishing a song.
So when you write, are you usually with an instrument, or you're just by yourself and then you go to your instrument once you write it?
It kind of depends. Like sometimes I'll have my guitar around because I'll be in my room, but usually I'm out, and so I have to remember it. And then I get home and I write on my guitar. I don't usually like write a song without my guitar.
Do you have any projects going on right now that maybe you're working on?
Lately I've had a really hard time writing. I just, because I've been trying to sit down and go, okay, write something. So I'm trying to write more, but I don't have anything.
Right.
I have like a bunch of fragments of songs that I just can't seem to
Yeah, you have to wait for the
finish.
inspiration
Yeah.
to kind of come to you, right?
Yeah.
How often do you usually write music or finish a whole project?
I used to write every single day, like after school.
That's awesome. That's really hard
Yeah,
to do.
I'd go home and I'd play for like 2 hours, eat dinner, and then I'd play, and then I'd go to bed. But as I got more busy and I got older, I just had more stuff to do, so I don't write as much as I'd like to. But lately I probably try like once a week just to kind of keep up with it, because it's something I really enjoy.
Have you done any performances other than here?
I've performed at an open mic called Kulak's Woodshed in the Valley, and then at Notre Dame High School, when I used to go there, I performed at a kind of like a little coffee shop thing, and then I used to play at church in junior high.
So how often did you used to perform, and like has it slowed down or increased?
It's definitely slowed down a lot.
Yeah.
I used to play, because when I played at church, it would be every weekend.
Oh, okay.
So now it just isn't as much at all, and I miss it, but it just doesn't fit how busy I am.
Yeah.
Do you still think of music as something you'd pursue as a career, or are you looking at different options?
I'm probably looking at different options. Like, I would love it if I could be a songwriter, but I feel like that's a hard business to get into.
It's
and
really hard.
Yeah. And like the people I know that are in that business have just gotten so lucky, and they made the right connections. So I feel like I'm probably not going to pursue it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on Samohilights. Good luck with your future music endeavors.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's it for today.
To stay updated about the show, you can follow us on Instagram at Samohilights.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time, Samohi.